There is a very specific low-level anxiety that kicks in when you're planning a trip to the American Southwest, especially Moab.
It's that options paralysis, isn't it?
It is exactly that. You've got the maps spread out. You've got 3 different trail apps open on your phone, and you're staring at all the places to stay. And you're faced with that, classic traveler's dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
Do I stay in the generic cookie-cutter hotel that could be anywhere from Ohio to Orlando? It's safe, it's beige, but it's boring.
Or do you try to find something that actually feels like part of the adventure?
Exactly. Do you find a base camp, a place that adds to the vibe, rather than subtracting from it? But then you worry, is authentic just code for uncomfortable?
That is the eternal trade-off.
Yeah.
It really is. And frankly, in adventure towns, it's usually a binary choice. You rarely get both character and comfort.
Well, that is exactly what we are unpacking today. We are taking a really close, microscopic look at the Gonzo Inn in Moab, Utah. And the mission for this deep dive is pretty simple. Does this place actually solve that dilemma? We're looking at a property that calls its vibe desert chic, claims to be a home away from home, and has been a Moab original since 1998.
And I want to pause on that date for a second. 1998, in the timeline of Moab's explosion as a tourist destination, that makes them practically historic.
Yeah.
It means they aren't some pop-up that just arrived last year to cash in on the Instagram crowd. They've been locally owned by Hussein Dines for over 2 decades.
Which usually implies a certain connection to the community that you just don't get with a big corporate chain. So we have a massive stack of sources here. We're talking detailed room breakdowns, amenity lists, partnership agreements with local tour operators, and even their specific event policies.
It's all here.
We're going to dissect the condo-style rooms, the hyper-specific perks for cyclists, and how they've kind of gamified their loyalty program.
It's a fascinating case study because when you look at all the source material, you realize this isn't designed for the person who just wants a bed to pass out in.
Mm-hmm.
It seems designed to solve the very specific logistical friction points of an adventure traveler.
So let's start with the most important factor in real estate, and maybe in adventure travel: location. Because looking at the map, the Gonzo Inn has made a very, very specific strategic choice.
They have. If you pull up a satellite view of Moab, you'll see the Gonzo Inn is situated exactly 1 block off Main Street. Now, to someone who hasn't been, 1 block might not sound like a big deal.
Oh, but it is.
You might think, who cares? It's all downtown.
But anyone who has actually been to Moab in peak season knows exactly why that single block matters so much.
Precisely. Main Street in Moab is intense.
True.
It's a funnel. It's where the semi-trucks go through. It's where all the listed Jeeps are idling. It's where the foot traffic is. It is loud. It's chaotic. It never really sleeps.
Right.
By being 1 block removed, you are effectively in a different acoustic zone.
Yeah.
You get that immediate access. You can walk to the breweries, the taco spots, but you can also actually sleep without hearing engine braking all night.
It's seclusion without isolation. You're in the mix, but you're not of the mix.
Exactly. And the sources emphasize that guests have immediate access to miles of Moab trails, just like steps from the back door. So if you want to do a morning run or a quick ride, you don't even have to start the car.
But let's be honest. If you're in Moab, you are eventually getting in that car to see the big ticket items. So how does the location stack up for the national parks? Because that morning commute to the trailhead can be a killer.
It's positioned very well as a hub. According to the destination data we have, you are looking at about a 10-minute drive to the entrance of Arches National Park. That's roughly 5 miles.
Which is critical. Arches has become so incredibly popular. If you're trying to beat the timed entry crowds or catch a sunrise at Delicate Arch, being 10 minutes away versus 30 minutes away makes a huge difference.
It really does. It's the difference between waking up at 5 a.m. and waking up at 4 a.m. And for the longer trips, the sources put you about 45 minutes or 32 miles from the island in the Sky District of Canyonlands.
Yeah.
And Dead Horse Point State Park is about the same, 32 miles out. So as a strategic base, you're essentially right in the center of all that Mighty 5 action.
Okay, so the location works. It passes the geography test. Let's move inside. I mentioned desert chic earlier. The sources describe the aesthetic as eclectic, with retro flair, eye-catching colors. It sounds like they're really trying to avoid that boring corporate hotel look.
They are. But beyond just the paint colors, which are fun, the structural design is what's interesting to me. They describe the 43 rooms as condominium style.
That word condo does a lot of heavy lifting in travel marketing. What does that actually mean for the guest?
It signals a shift in intent, I think. A hotel room is designed for turnover. A condo is designed for living. It implies they expect you to linger, maybe stay for a week. And when you look at the bones of these rooms in the source text, that intent becomes really clear.
Right, let's unpack the standard features. This isn't just about thread count, it's about autonomy.
Correct. Every single suite, regardless of tier, includes a kitchenette. And we need to be specific here because kitchenette can mean a lot of things.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a tiny fridge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in this case, the sources list a wet bar, a microwave, a refrigerator, a full set of dishware and utensils, and a Keurig coffee maker.
That Keurig is a lifesaver for the early starts, but the fridge and microwave are the real game changers. If you're staying for a week, eating out 3 times a day in a tourist town, it destroys your budget.
And your stomach, honestly.
Right. Being able to heat up leftovers or just make oatmeal changes the whole flow of the trip.
It reduces the friction of the morning. You aren't hunting for coffee. You're drinking it on your patio.
Speaking of patios, the sources say every room has a private patio or balcony, and they specifically emphasize the red cliff views.
Which connects back to that base camp vibe. You aren't just staring at a parking lot. You are still visually connected to the landscape you came to see.
And on the tech and comfort side, they seem to have the modern essentials covered. Flat screen smart TVs and free high-speed fiber Wi-Fi.
That fiber Wi-Fi is a detail worth noting. In rural Utah, connectivity can be spotty. If you're a digital nomad or you just need to upload that massive GoPro footage, having fiber is a significant asset.
But for me, the most important amenities listed are the blackout curtains and the memory foam sofa sleepers.
Oh, the blackout curtains are non-negotiable in the desert. The sun comes up early, and it is bright. If you spent the day hiking 12 miles, you need that recovery sleep. And memory foam, that's just good hospitality.
So we have the basics, but there is a hierarchy to these rooms. Let's break down the tiers for anyone trying to decide what to book.
Sure. At the entry level, you have the standard king. This is your efficiency unit. It's for the solo traveler or a couple, max 2 people. Compact, but you still get that patio and the kitchenette.
Then you step up to the standard king suite.
And this is where that condo feel really kicks in. This adds a separate living area. Because of that sofa sleeper, it can sleep up to 4 people. This is probably the sweet spot for a small family or 2 friends who want a little separation.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. The specialized suites. Tell me about the Creekside suites.
As the name implies, these face the creek, so better views, better ambiance. But the big amenity upgrade here is the fireplace. It adds that cozy element, especially in the shoulder seasons like March or November when the desert gets surprisingly cold at night.
And the Rim Vista suites.
Similar occupancy, sleeps 4, but here's the major upgrade. A large jetted bathtub alongside that fireplace.
See, to me, a jetted tub in a city hotel is a luxury. In Moab, after biking the Slick Rock Trail, that's medical equipment.
It's recovery gear, absolutely. It changes how your legs feel the next morning.
And then we have the top of the mountain, the Moab Luxury Suite.
This is the flagship. It's a 2-bedroom unit, so you have actual privacy. It features panoramic views, dual vanities in the bathroom, which prevents arguments, that big jetted tub, and the fireplace. It accommodates up to 6 guests. It's basically a full apartment.
However, there's a very specific constraint here that we need to flag for our dog-loving listener.
Yes, this is crucial. The Gonzo Inn is generally a very pet-friendly property. However, the sources are explicit. The Moab Luxury Suite is not pet-friendly.
Wow.
So if you're bringing your dog, you cannot book the top-tier suite. You have to stick to the other categories.
That is a great save the vacation tip right there. Imagine showing up with your golden retriever and being turned away from the penthouse.
Exactly. Always read the fine print.
Okay, I want to pivot to something that really popped in the source material. We keep calling this a base camp, but if you're a cyclist, it's closer to like a Formula One pit crew.
It really is. Moab is arguably the world capital for mountain biking, and a lot of hotels will just let you bring your bike into the room. The Gonzo Inn has built actual infrastructure for this demographic.
Let's list it out because it's impressive. First, secure bike storage.
With staff access. This is huge because high-end mountain bikes can cost $5,000 to $10,000. Leaving them on your rental car overnight is not great for your peace of mind.
Not at all.
Knowing they're locked up lets you sleep better.
But it goes deeper. They have a bike kitchen. I absolutely love that name.
It's clever, but it's also functional. It's a repair shop designed by cyclists. It features a custom repair rack, and this is the key. They provide a supply of standard tools for guests to use.
That is brilliant, because you can't bring a full tool stand on a plane. If you tweak your derailleur on the trail, you usually have to hunt down a local bike shop. Here, you can just fix it yourself at the hotel,
And once you've fixed it, you can clean it. They have a dedicated wash station.
which is essential because of that red dust.
That red dust is everywhere. It gets into everything. If you don't wash it off, it just grinds down your gears. And of course, the hotel doesn't want you tracking red clay into the carpets. So it's a win-win.
Beyond the bikes, they have a few other practical amenities for what I'd call the active learner. We see EV charging stations in the parking lot.
Which is becoming essential. And the parking is free, which is a nice perk.
And private coin-operated laundry.
Again, crucial for the long stay. If you're hiking or biking for a week, you generate a mountain of sweaty, dusty clothes. Being able to do a load of laundry means you can pack half as much stuff.
And a concierge service to help book trips, which we'll get to. But first, let's talk about what happens when you're done sweating. Relaxation.
Well, water is the focal point. They have a heated saltwater pool that operates from March through November.
Salt water is such a nice touch. It feels so much better on the skin than heavy chlorine.
It does. And for the winter visitors, or just for muscle recovery, the hot tub is open year-round. We mentioned the jetted tubs in the rooms, but the communal hot tub, that's where you swap trail stories.
They also have some really nice social spaces described in the text. There's the backyard.
Right, this is a private, tree-lined lawn right by the creek. The sources say it's used for frisbee or just lounging, and there's a private outdoor lounge with a fire pit.
That fire pit is key. Desert nights get cold fast. Sitting by a fire with a drink after a day in the canyons, I mean, that is the vibe people are looking for.
It completes the experience.
Now, speaking of that outdoor lounge and the backyard, let's say you love this place so much, you want to bring a whole group, maybe a wedding or a big family reunion. How does the Gonzo Inn handle that?
This is an important area to clarify because they have very specific policies. According to Gonzo INN sources regarding special events, the property has designated the usage of these areas quite strictly.
So if I want to host something, what are my options?
Well, according to information obtained from sources, the venues are broken down as follows. First, you have the private outdoor lounge. This is that tree-lined area with the fire pit. The hotel positions this as the spot for catered dinners or evening socials, more intimate gatherings.
Okay, so that's the cozy option. What if I have a bigger crowd, like a full reception?
Then you would look at the backyard. This is the lush creekside lawn. The sources describe it as ideal for an afternoon party, a barefoot dinner reception, or a picnic-style luncheon. It's a more open, casual space.
That sounds amazing, but planning an event in a town you don't live in sounds stressful. Do they just leave you to figure it out?
No, and this is where the service aspect comes in. According to information obtained from sources, the dedicated staff of local event experts helps pull in best-in-class assets. So they work with local vendors for catering, off-road rentals, shuttle services, all of it.
Nice. I like having experts on my side. Speaking of experts, let's talk about the adventure partners. Because the Gonzo Inn positions itself as a hub, right? Not just a hotel, but a gateway.
Exactly. They act as a shortcut to the best operators in town. And crucially, because of these partnerships, they've negotiated discounts, mostly 10% off for their guests.
Let's run through the list, because these cover pretty much every adrenaline level.
Sure. Let's start on the ground. For the off-roaders, they partner with Canyonland's Jeep Adventures. They offer 4x4 rentals if you want to be the driver.
Then there's the Moab Adventure Center, or Painland.
These guys are the heavy hitters, a best-of-state winner. They do a bit of everything: rafting, off-road tours, ballooning. If it's an adventure, MSC probably does it.
And for water lovers?
Canyonland's By Night Nay. They focus on river trips.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a specific note in the source here. Their 10% discount is valid specifically in July and August. So you have to check the calendar on that one.
Got it. Now what if I want to get high? Like physically high in the air?
Then you have Moab Helix. They are the only dedicated helicopter operator in Moab. Seeing the arches from the air is a completely different perspective.
And if a helicopter is too tame?
Then you go to Skydive Moab. The sources mention their instructors are record holders. That is definitely for the thrill seeker.
I think I'll stick to the 4x4, thanks.
Fair enough. Also, on the logistical side, they partner with Moab Express for door-to-door shuttles from the airport. It creates a seamless link if you're flying in.
You know, we've talked about the rooms and the partners, but I want to talk about the smart travel aspect. We all like saving money. The Gonzo Inn has actually gamified the stay with their Go Gonzo Club.
It's a classic loyalty structure, but it's very transparent, which I like. You automatically become a member after your first day. No complex sign-up.
And the perks ramp up pretty fast compared to some big airline programs.
They do. It starts at the bronze level,
Yeah.
right after your first day, where you get 5% off. Then silver, at your 15th night, gets you 10% off.
Then gold.
Gold hits at the 40th night. That's 15% off, plus, and this is great for the pet owners, a discounted pet fee of just $30.
And finally, platinum.
The 100th night, you get 20% off, plus perks like robes and late checkout. It clearly rewards the person who comes back to Moab every spring and fall.
But what if I haven't stayed 100 nights? What if I'm booking my first trip? The sources list a bunch of promo codes that are basically immediate hacks for saving money.
This is where reading the source material really pays off. They have a code for almost everyone. It feels like they are actively trying to help you find a discount.
Let's list them because this is real money back in your pocket.
Okay, first for the military. Code PROUDLIFESERVE20 gets veterans and active military 20% off. That is a significant discount.
Huge. What about first responders?
Code FRONTLINES10, that's 10% off for police, fire, and EMTs.
Love that. And for the romantics?
Gonzolo10, that's 10% off for honeymoons or anniversaries, plus they include a special in-room treat.
What if I'm just staying for a long time, like a digital nomad week?
Longer 10. If you book 7 nights or more, you get 10% off the entire stay.
And for the planners, the people booking 6 months out?
Early Bird 10. If you book 6 months in advance for a stay of 3 nights or more, you get 10% off.
And we can't forget seniors and AAA members.
Send setting for seniors 65 plus and AAA 10 for AAA members. Both get you 10% off. The variety here is impressive.
So what does this all mean? We've looked at the maps, the bike wash stations, the wet bars, the discount codes.
To synthesize the Gonzo proposition, it's really about a hybrid model.
Yeah.
It's high adventure support, giving you the tools, the partners, the location to get dirty, combined with high comfort living. It's acknowledging you can ride a mountain bike for 6 hours and still want a jetted tub at the end of the day.
It eliminates that false choice between rugged and comfortable.
Exactly. It's a sophisticated approach to the outdoors. It respects that your time off is valuable and tries to remove all the little hassles.
Here's my final thought for you to chew on. We often think of hotels as just a commodity, a place to crash. But looking at the Gonzo Inn, it challenges us to think about the value of a true base camp. How does where you sleep change how you explore? If you know you have a bike repair stand and a hot tub waiting for you, do you push a little harder on the trail?
That confidence in your support system definitely changes the risk calculation. You feel more prepared to take on the adventure.
I think so too. The Gonzo spirit seems to be about being eclectic and adventurous, not just booking a bed. So whether you're jumping out of a plane or just lounging by the creek, get out there and explore Moab.
And don't forget to rinse the red dust off your bike.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening to this deep dive. We'll catch you on the next one.